Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of whatever Patrick says this is. I'm Buddy, the actual reason all of you actually watch these videos. And hey, come back. You were doing the intro. Alright guys, welcome back to another visual diary. We've got our breakfast brewing, cooking up, and it's a bit rainy today. But we've got a squat day scheduled, and I'll go over that once I start taking a walk with Buddy. So we got our first meal of the day. We've got 180 grams of 96.4 beef. The only place that I've seen that sells that is BJ's, and I do not enjoy it. And then we've got 3 eggs in there, and we've got our tea, Earl Grey. I'm surprised no one mentioned my Captain Picard reference in the comments last video. I'm very disappointed in every single one of you. But, so, this would be a better meal. It's got ketchup on it, too. I actually got some replacement ketchup, finally. Stopped doing body shots on my eggs. I'm actually getting a good squirt going. But, it would be so much better if the protein was like crumbled sausage. It'd make it so much better. Or if it was steak, it'd make it so much better. But it's not. We're poor. We have to do ground beef, and ground beef is actually better for bulking than steak is, because when you eat steak, you have to chew a lot more, you burn more calories, and it takes a lot more for your body to go through the process of digesting steak over ground beef, because ground beef, it's already processed and ready to be digested, so it's very little energy cost to digest beef or ground beef. But still, that being said, I am consuming a lot of beef, and I'm struggling to fully digest all of the beef by the time I reach my next meals. So I have to take digestive enzymes and betaine pepsin, which are just 2 products you can get on Amazon. I'm not going to put a link in there because I know myself, and I'm not going to actually remember what I said in these videos, because I do not rewatch these before I post them, because it's usually like it's bedtime and I'm like, I have to post this. Not to say it's a negative thing that I do, but I'm just lazy. But betaine pepsin, a lot of people have trouble digesting a lot of beef. Betaine pepsin, and I use super enzymes from Vitamin Shop. You can get any sort of super enzymes or digestive enzymes. I think it's a mix of like bromelain, some probiotics, and oxbio that helps digest things a little bit better. But it is what it is. We're going to eat this breakfast. We also have a bagel with honey, and I'll show you guys that when I put that together. And anyways, I got to eat this before it cools down, and I've got my audiobook queued up, and Buddy is complaining that you guys haven't liked, subscribed, and shared this with all your mothers yet. Do it. Do it. So I got 1 bagel with about 50 grams of honey, right? And I've been drizzling the honey on the bagel this whole time, but that always gets in my beard. So I'm going to do kind of out of the box kind of mental thing going on, because I've been quoted as saying boxes are not for thinking, they're for fucking, and you should apply that in every scenario. So I'm going to try and make it a honey dip. So I'm going to drizzle the honey on a plate and then dip the bagel in the honey. Thinking is good. Making a dip sounded super complex, so I'm going to actually show you what I'm doing. Let me get the scale in the picture so you guys don't see them. So you guys don't think I'm bullshitting you. And I'm almost out of honey. And there we go. My honey
reserves are low. I'm gonna have to go to the store and get some honey. Perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow. Not good. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we have a solution to the messy beard with honey problem. And I am oh so proud of it. Not a single drop of honey on me or on Buddy. Because I kind of dropped some honey on Buddy yesterday. He didn't notice. But I did the parent thing where I licked my thumb and then rubbed it out of his fur. Because I don't think he could have reached it. And he has a habit of trying to eat bees. I never said Buddy was smart, but he's eaten 3 bees. And bees really like honey, so they'd be more attracted to him if he has honey on his fur. So I got rid of the honey on his fur. Anyways, time for a buddy walk. But it is, look at that sky. Look at that sky. It looks a little sus when it comes to not thunder and lightning. So I'm gonna don some PPE, personal protective equipment, in the form of a raincoat. Buddy doesn't like wearing his raincoat. He has learned how to take it off on his own mid-walk, so Buddy has to suffer. He doesn't wear a raincoat because he chooses not to, not because we choose not to. He's just kind of a pain in the ass. Alright, boys. I said raincoat, I meant sweatshirt, because I don't own a raincoat. I own a bunch of winter coats, no raincoats. Right, buddy? Yeah. So we've got a squat day today, and the past couple squat days haven't been going super well. I went hypoglycemic in both of them. World started spinning. Buddy, heel. And for 40 minutes, and I ended up having to cut training early and not do the top sets, which those are the fun sets. So not super good in terms of stimulus and growth and everything that we want. I feel a couple raindrops falling, and I heard a bunch of thunder. Saw no lightning, but heard thunder. And oh, it's raining harder now. But so last week we did 3x10, 525. This time we are lowering the weight a little bit, doing 455, 2x8, and then we're doing some sets at 555. I might just sneak on 585 on there because that's what coach wanted the past 2 weeks, but he said I was too strong to do them or something like that. I don't know if he's gassing me up or not, but I don't want. Buddy, sit. Yep. I don't want to be undercutting myself because of that stimulus. So that's what we got going on today. I feel like I had something else to say, but I didn't. It is raining. Buddy is not enjoying the rain. We're on a weird walk right now because I need at least a 10-minute walk to digest my food from breakfast, but because it's raining and I heard some thunder, we're gonna cut this walk a little short, which means I'm gonna have to do some cardio at the gym. So not looking forward to walking steady state on a treadmill. Oh, I just finished Mark of the Fool 5, and now I'm all caught up on all the audiobook series that I've been listening to recently, which is sad because it means that either I have to wait for, oh, I'm not caught up on all of them because I'm also listening to The Wandering Inn, which is one of the longest audiobook series out there, but it's a lot of the reviews are like, this is sometimes the greatest literary pieces that I've ever consumed, or one of the worst. So it's got some highs, it got some lows, but I think I'll be starting Godclads when I start doing my cardio at the gym later today. So got that coming up. If you guys have any audiobook recommendations, write them in the comments, because I have an unhealthy audiobook addiction, and especially when it comes to progression fantasy, because that's what we all like. That's why you guys are watching these videos. It's like a progression fantasy, except with a real human, kind of. If you can count me as human. I'm more like a very fuzzy primate kind of thing, closer to a Neanderthal with a big fluffy beard. And you guys all watch me for Buddy, right? Right, bud? Yeah. He confirmed. You guys are only here for the buddies. So I will see you guys back with my next meal, and we'll get things underway. So the rain cut the walk short, so we're having our second meal of the day in under an hour. This is Fruity Pebbles, around 200 grams, and about 12 ounces of Fairlife fat-free milk. You don't want a lot of fat pre-training, because it slows down the absorption rate of all the other macros that you're trying to consume and utilize during your training. So you want to spike the insulin with some high carbohydrate dense foods like cereal, but you want the fat content. My rule of thumb is, or the rule of thumb I was given by my nutritionist, Brianni Terry, is 4 grams or less per serving. So that's what we're doing. Fruity Pebbles, pretty clean in terms of fat content, but I gotta eat this before it gets soggy. Bye. Chocolate or vanilla. Any other flavor? Dog shit. Alright, Kemosabe's, we are on our way to the gym. We're actually almost there. I forgot to start this immediately as I started my journey. So we've got squats today. I'm a little nervous for squats today, because not because it's going to be difficult or anything. I mean, 2x8 at 455, no big deal. That's below 50%. But what's got me nervous is my gut biome is not super happy. And if you know anything about squatting heavy or deadlifting heavy, you know that when things go wrong with your gut biome, your pants have to get thrown away. But so last night I woke up in the middle of the night with super heartburn, and then I also had to go to the bathroom for the first time. Number 2 for the first time ever, waking up having to do that, which is weird, but I guess I'm getting close to my 30s, so it's starting to make sense that things like that are gonna start happening. But that was all good and all. It wasn't solid. It was kind of, there was a cork and a bunch. A little bit too much detail there. And then when I woke up, I had to go again. So I'm a little nervous because my gut biome is not super happy. I do have IBS, and I've been taking psyllium seed husk to try and get things a little better situated, and it has helped for a while, but I ran out recently, and it's my insides are not enjoying it. But I think it's a mix between that and my rice from yesterday. So I cooked my rice on Sunday, and then I kept resetting the keep warm settings on my rice cooker until Monday, and I ate it afternoon on Monday when I cooked it Sunday morning. So it just got really mushy, and parts were super hard, parts were mushy, and it didn't really taste right. But I still ate 800 grams of this funky rice. Now, normally, not normally, but a lot of people say that's fine. There's some rice cookers that allow you to do that, but I have just big rice cooker, big American brand rice cooker. The Far Eastern brand rice cookers are capable of just having rice in your house all the time. But my rice cooker not as much. But so there's actually laws in Japan on the storage of cooked rice, and there's bylaws and ways that you're allowed to store cooked rice, and I do not believe I followed those. I'm not in Japan, so I'm not gonna get arrested, but it's because for a while a lot of Japanese people were getting sick because of improperly handled cooked rice. So I think I kind of fell into that kind of stratosphere of things going on, and my gut biome is super sensitive to kind of negative things going on. So there's that. So we're going to squat today. We're going to see how it goes. We're not going to see how it goes. We're just going to do it all. So I keep saying so. I keep having verbal fillers. Verbal fillers are one of my pet peeves, but I guess my anxiety right now is kind of high because of the gut biome and my I've got two pecs, but I have a good pec and a bad pec. I've torn my bad pec twice. Not serious, like off the bone and have needed reconstructive surgery, but I've torn it a couple times, so it's extra tight. And I believe I have I need to do more research to kind of definitively define whether or not I have what I think is going on. It's tendinitis is what I'm thinking it is, because it's always on the internal side of the pecs. Now, if there's tendons crossing over to kind of connect the pec to the sternum, that would make sense as to why they feel tight and get random pains. And it's always weird because whenever anyone says, oh, I have chest pains, it's not a good thing. But me, it's like my chest hurts and it's probably just pec tendinitis. And then it causes anxiety, panic attack, and stuff like that. So that's what I'm dealing with right now, along with a unhappy gut biome. But the way around tendinitis is to kind of increase the elasticity of the muscle groups around it and kind of relieve a lot of the pressure, allow the tendons to recover from a increased elasticity of the muscles around it, meaning that it's not going to be pulling super tight. It's going to have a little bit more give, and it's going to be able to recover from whatever overuse and overstretching that the pec's going to have. But I keep using verbal fillers. Verbal fillers is your brain saying, I am speaking and whatever I say must be intelligent, but making sound is not intelligent. You'll see a lot of high schoolers, middle schoolers, they'll have verbal fillers every other word. They'll use words, for example, like, but, so. I've heard some people even have swear words as their verbal fillers, and I did not appreciate that at all whatsoever. I'm gonna go start my warm-up sequence, a lot of stretching, getting the tightness in my left hip kind of situated, and also work on the pec tightness that I'm feeling. Gonna be doing the super light pec flies with the I think they're pec sunshines or whatever. I think I invented them, so I'm gonna call them whatever I feel like. So they're pec sunshines because it reminds me of yoga, something sunshine, something Super Mario. Let's go do it. So I'm sitting here doing my incline pigeon stretch, and I'm going to talk about how motivation to do things is probably what's holding you back. If you solely rely on motivation to do things, you're going to be sorely disappointed by the results that you earn and yield from your efforts, because motivation is very, 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 very fickle, and it's actually pretty rare. It's not what keeps you going. It's what gets you started. It's not what keeps you going. It's like, I don't have a good metaphor or example, but I'm not motivated to be here today, but I'm here. I'm not motivated to be here. It's discipline. It's obligation. It's pride that keeps me here. So if you want to break it down a little bit, then Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super was right. Pride is a very strong driver. And pride bleeds into discipline. Pride bleeds into obligation. You've got an obligation to yourself to seek out the circumstances and do the work in order to have yourself perform at a maximum level. Whether that be, are you motivated to go to work every morning? Absolutely not. But you have an obligation to yourself, your family, and everyone else surrounding you to go to work and collect a paycheck. All right? It's the same thing as going to the gym, getting stronger, getting healthier. You're not motivated to eat healthy all the time. There's so many other motivations out there. You have a motivation to feel happy, to experience bliss, to feel good, that often override your motivation to eat healthy. Because healthy foods aren't super tasty. They're not delicious to eat. They're not fun to eat in all reality. So you have an obligation to yourself, to your family, to whatever, whomever, if you care about other people, other than yourself, which I personally don't, to eat healthy so you can live longer and you can make them suffer more, because that's what a good person does. Existence is suffering, might as well share it, you know? But yeah, I'm not motivated to be here at all. My insides feel like junk. I already explained that earlier today, but it does not feel good. I sat in my car and I waited for the bellyache to go away. I waited for the chest spasms to go away from the whatchamacallit. And I took my pre-workout, which is nectar, carnitine, and choline, and it's I don't. It's one of those where it's like you don't feel what it does until you don't take it. Then it jumpstarts your recovery process while you're training, because it gets into your bloodstream and everything starts to recover and repair itself and all that jazz. But yeah, I have stomach cramps and stuff. I'm basically on my period, so women out there, I totally get you 100%. But I'm not going to complain about it because I'm just kidding. We all know there's actually no women watching these videos, so we can joke about it here. Just shh, don't tell them. Don't tell them, boys. Because I know you're like me, you won't, because women are very, very scary to talk to. So I'm just doing my pre-training stretching, getting the muscles nice and elastic so that I can beat them down like a redheaded stepchild. Ooh. Look at that. That light's good. Yeah. More definition on the quad than Vantage, but all right. Oh, nope. Still fat. You know, it's really amazing how efficient you can be at the gym when you just lock your social media and just keep your headphones in and don't go hypoglycemic. Because before, the past couple squat days, I went hypo. I didn't lock my Instagram or Facebook, and I willingly took an earbud out so that people could talk to me. And I would stay there until about 3-ish, after getting there at about like 11:30. So I started lifting today at 12. It took about 30 minutes for me to warm up for squats, which, I mean, that was a little long. I still had a tummy ache, but it seemed to subside the longer I was lifting. So the blood flow was a positive addition to my internal states. But yeah, the gym is just me time. I don't have any training partners. So it's me time. It's where I'm just me and my thoughts alone with some heavy shit in my back or in my hands. But I do appreciate talking to people at the gym. It's just, as long as it doesn't cause me to be there longer than usual. And I started going to the gym in the morning rather than at night, partially because the multiply lifters have tried to start a beef with me, and I'm just like, why? What do I have to prove to you? So it's annoying just getting like, it's not, I'm not running away from them. I just know that there's a non-zero chance that they could get spiteful enough to misload my bar whenever I go and like go to the bathroom or something. So it's for my own safety, because you can't trust anyone. You don't trust other people. That's probably the most common saying out there in the literary world, at least, is don't trust other people. And then someone comes along and the main character learns to trust people once again, but I'm not in that character arc quite yet. But yeah, and so I used to go to the gym from like 4:30 until 10, which that's like a full-time job. But now I'm getting in and out of the gym in like an hour to 2.5 hours, which is really good for my productivity. I do not have as many steps in logged today as I would like, because it started raining and thundering. I didn't see any lightning when I took Buddy on his morning walk, so we cut that short. But it's looking, so the weather forecast said that the rain was done at 2, so it's 2. I might take Buddy for a walk after my first meal, or my post-training meal, and finish up those steps. A nice little short walk, because I only need like 4,000 steps left. So that's that. The pec tendonitis is still a little grumpy, but it came and went. It's one of those things where it's like a knot is generally gonna cause something down the line. So it's like your pec is tight, so your bicep is gonna be tight, and your bicep is tight, so your forearm is gonna be tight. And that accumulation of tightness is not good mentally. But I saw my heart rate at multiple different levels. It was at 70 when I got to the gym. It was 106 when I was doing the sit-ups. I didn't track it while I was doing squats because I had my wrist wraps on, and that's extremely uncomfortable to have wrist wraps on over a Fitbit. But the heart's doing good. What are you doing, guy? We're driving. You got a green. But yeah, it was a pretty good gym session. We got through the warm-ups pretty good. For some reason, everything felt harder today for no reason. Well, for the reason my weekend kind of got taken. My weekend wasn't good diet-wise. And it's like, I say that and you think, wow, he must have eaten lots of pizza and mac and cheese and potato skins and pasta and stuff like that. And it's not that at all. Saturday, I woke up and I didn't have a car. I was like, I thought I was going to have my car today. Why is my car missing? And it was the person that I do the free Uber for took it upon themselves to take my car. Not cool at all. So I was stuck at home. I checked the fridge. I didn't have enough food. And there's a lot of food at home. It's just none of it's on my meal plan because the other people I live with don't follow a meal plan. So it's all like chips and nacho cheese and oatmeal and just things that are generally not healthy or on my program. So I just sat and I was like, I can't eat anything till I have a car. I have to go to the grocery store. And I sat around until about 3, and I had some pasta with meat sauce, which was on the program, but I didn't have a measured amount because I got taken out to lunch by one of the other people that I live with, and they were like, here, food. And I was like, okay, I'll accept it at this point. I'm grateful you have decided to feed me. I was gonna go full murdery on everyone if I didn't get food real quick, but I had that, and then I was like, everything, I went to the store and I was like, everything that I have now has to be prepared, and that'll take a long time. So I was like, I'm gonna have a bowl of cereal and a protein shake. And that was my Saturday, and I dropped 3 pounds that day, which is no bueno. And then Sunday, it was one of those days where it's like, hey, I need to eat. And then someone would be like, hey, can you do this real quick before you start eating? Because I know it takes a while for you to eat. And then I was like, oh, okay. So I missed like 2 or 3 meals that day because it was like, hey, can you do this real quick? It takes 2 hours. Can you do this 2 more hours? And it's like, really? I have my own personal goals. I have my own, I need to be better at setting up my boundaries and having people recognize my boundaries and respect my boundaries. And that's on me. But I weighed in at 326 on Monday after a cheat meal too. An allowed cheat meal, programmed cheat meal. It was at that point where I'm like, I've eaten so little. I need to get as many calories in me as possible. I would have been like 324 if I hadn't had that cheat meal, but I was 100% on food yesterday, and I'm back up to 328, and I'll be 100% on food today. We're set up for a good pace with food today, so probably 330. Allegedly, maybe. I did poop 5 times today already, and it's only 2 p.m. The one while I was sleeping, or the one that woke me up from sleeping, the one first thing in the morning, and then 3 more sporadically throughout squats. None of it made it to the underwear, so this pair of underwear is a-okay to continue on living. But it's rough on the bum hole. But yeah, we're set up pretty good to have a good rest of the day. I'm gonna eat. It's hard rewiring the brain, being like, well, I want to get this out of the way first and then I get to eat. It's like, no. You got to eat first, then do everything else, because every time that you eat, the timer towards the next one starts. And when this timer for the next one starts, the timer for the one after that also starts. So it's like, you can't push off eating, because then it pushes one meal further back. And eventually, those meals start going off the screen, and you don't see them for the rest of the day. So it's got to be a lot of healthily setting up boundaries and mental preparedness in order to maintain a homeostatic schedule, in order to get food in properly and fuel myself to have successful days. The trash weekend definitely affected my training day yesterday, definitely affected my training day today. I need to be better with my eating, during the week, I'm golden. It's when I'm not in the week, when other people exist around me, that they expect me to take care of things for them, and I need to start saying no and setting up those boundaries to healthily nurture a non-extortionist relationship with those around me, because I am a people pleaser, and it's very easy for people to take advantage of me. So I need to learn how to set those boundaries up, because I'm always afraid I'm disappointing someone or I'm a burden on them. And I do a lot of things for people, and then they still end up being disappointed in me for something or another. And then they continue that cycle of me trying to make them happy, them not being happy. So it's not worth it to try and make them happy if they're not going to be happy with anything ever anyways. If they're not grateful for your presence, they don't need to be around you. So you need to set up those boundaries so they're not going to be grateful for you. So you respectfully create separation so that your stress is at a minimum, because you can't control the way other people think or feel. That would be manipulative, and that is a negative thing. You can only control your own emotions, your own levels of stress. So you can only stress, if you only stress for your own things, you're doing golden. The only things that stress you out and put negative energy into your body, that just sounds, that sounds like a hippie saying, but like, when things stress you out, it's like negative recovery that you're accumulating in your system. And you want as much positive recovery. You want healthy meals, you want hydration, you want healthy sleep, you want the pursuit of happiness and the acclamation of happiness, but you don't want any of those to stress you out. You don't want any external stressors to bring your recovery down. You don't want any negative recovery going on by being overly stressed out by things that are out of your control, because you can only control what you can control. Don't stress about the things that you can't control. And a lot of those things are external factors. Oh no, it rained today. What are you going to do? Change the weather? Oh no, this person is sad. This person is mad. A people pleaser would be like, hey, let's go about and make them happy and stress themselves out. That's negative recovery. Your liver can only take so much stress. So if you are stressing it physically, because take a step back, your body can only recognize, it can't discern between physical, mental, and emotional stress. So if you're stressing yourself out physically by going to the gym, pushing yourself real hard, you've got a lot of stress going on there, and you feel a little bit, your body releases those chemicals in your body to help you alleviate that stress, which is why you feel good after going to the gym and doing healthy things. It's rewarding you for building an environment where adaptations can occur, where it can be stronger. But if mentally, by working really hard, I'm not saying don't work hard at your job or anything, but going above and beyond and recognizing that you won't get recognized for a lot of the work that you do, because the prize for a pie eating contest is more pie. So it's I had this discussion with my dad earlier, and he just said I was a lazy. I was like, no. My last job, I was performing at like 3 pay grades above what I was actually getting paid, and I got fired for requesting a raise. They told me to look into food stamps instead of recognizing the above and beyond work I was doing for the company. They told me to live in my car because they refused to admit that I was working above my pay grade. So it's different circumstances, different eras, different levels of people getting taken advantage, and the willingness to get taken advantage of. That is kind of like a difference in generations, where before, like, I'm going way off. This is basically ADHD ranting on steroids, because why are we now talking about like old school female roles in the household, and how it is vastly different now than it was then, and how that reflects the general culture of the workplace changing, where we are no longer willing to get taken advantage and just sit down and shut up anymore, because we recognize that some people would say it's participation trophies. That's a whole different thing. That's the I identify as whatever the fuck I want to be generation. Those are participation trophies. It's when people start standing up for themselves and they're not able to get taken advantage anymore. That's a completely different issue. So I'm going to stop ranting because it's getting political. I've been ranting for 15 minutes at this point. I got home. I got to eat. I got to hydrate. And I got to take Buddy for a walk. And then I can start working on the audiobook that I've been recording for Jimbo, which I think is the guy's pen name, Jimbo. Anyways, I've bored you all, or I've mentally stimulated you all. Either way, there's brain cells firing, doing things, allegedly. I don't know. If I bored you, you probably skipped to a different video anyways, but I'm gonna go take care of myself, boys. He thinks that he can just be cute and get what he wants, because that's my spot. Oh, how convenient. Just in time for me to... Oh, you took my spot again, sir. No remorse, no regrets. But I got my chicken, 245 grams chicken, 400 grams of rice, and honey mustard. There's supposed to be sauerkraut on there, but someone cleaned out the fridge and threw away my sauerkraut. So I don't have any sauerkraut. I'm going to check with Coach and my nutritionist. Stop sniffing her butt. Sir. There's boundaries. There's boundaries, sir. If I can have a pickle, because for some reason all the pickles were left but not the sauerkraut. So I'm going to see if I can't get that fermented food in my system to help with the gut biome. So personal space is no longer a thing. Right, bud? He says he's not touching me, but he really is. Also, internet connectivity issues. Rest in peace. So we're on round 2 of Little Buddy Walk. I'm going in the opposite direction of his morning walk. And so I had that meal. It's been digesting a little bit. And I've got a lot of systemic fatigue built up in my system right now. And it's probably because I haven't taken a... Buddy! Sit! I haven't taken a day off of doing some sort of work-related thing in over 15 days. I think I'm on day 16 or 20-something. Always doing something to... oh yeah, we're in the 20s, definitely. Always doing something to do work kind of things. Now, it's not always 8 hours a day. Sometimes it's 5 hours, sometimes it's 7. But we're still doing a lot of, I don't want to say career growth, but a lot of extra disciplinary work, if that makes any sense. We're learning new things. There's a lot of mental fatigue going on because we're learning new things. There's a lot getting crammed into the head. And we're also pushing the body a little bit with this hypoxic training and the current block of training. And I looked at my biomarkers and I talked to my coach about it. Last week was very stressful because Buddy's other existence. Buddy, sit. Sit. Decided to start a new fight every single day. And that made a lot of things. My RHR went from 61 to 67. And so there's that stress that we talked about earlier going up. And my body temperature has been about 2 degrees under normal. So the biomarkers indicate that there's something going on with me systemically. So basically, in layman's terms, I am sick. I don't know what the sickness is. It's probably like a cold or a flu or something seasonal, but it is affecting my recovery, and so I'm extra tired right now. So things are getting a bit sluggish, and I'm a little bit more reactionary to the interactions with other people, because I don't play well with others, and others right now are trying to take advantage of me and not playing well with me either. So I'm trying to deal with that while the health is not at a peak level, not at a good spot. And it's one of those things where I should be worse off than I am. Buddy, sit. But it's the way that I approach my health and wellness means that the only symptom that really pops up is extra fatigue. I'm not like bedridden. I'm just, I am tired. Like, you know, when most people get home from work and they're just like, ugh, that was a long day. When you have long days back to back to back to back to back to back to back, nearly a month in a row, you get used to that feeling, but also the feeling gets stronger and stronger, and when you start to notice it, it's really bad. So I gotta do better at taking care of myself. Luckily, tomorrow's a rest day, so I'll be making a instructional, informational video for you guys that everyone seems to like. I'm glad those are popping off pretty well. I wish these personal diaries popped off a little better, but I'm not gonna fake anything to get more views or anything. I'm just gonna be me and just word vomit whenever I feel like it. So just taking Buddy on a walk, and yep, that's all I'm doing right now. Once I get home, hopefully the internet might be back on so I can get the scripts for me to read today, but there's no guarantees of that. So we'll see how things work out, and stop getting paranoid anxiety attacks about why things are the way they are. So I think that's all what I wanted to talk about during this walk. So I'm just gonna leave you guys. Oakley dokley. So we've got some de-clicking action going on. It's a application that I don't want to say every audiobook narrator uses. It's an application or software that every audiobook narrator should use. Not all of them use it, and their recordings are disgusting. It gets rid of all the mouth noises that happen whenever you open your mouth. There's a subtle click. It's just it gets rid of all that. It's magical, space magic. All the best say they run everything through one of these applications or software before they send any audio out, even if it's just like a 5 or 10 minute audio audition that they just scraped together. They throw it through the de-clicker. I'm doing the audio mastering right now, and I'm gonna let Buddy be a menace. He's doing a big stretch. But we got 2 chapters recorded. about 45 minutes worth of audio, and that was done in, I'm not going to say how long it was done in because you guys are going to judge me. But yeah, a pretty solid day of recording. The story, I don't know how the story is going to go from the point where it's at, but it's interesting for sure. And some of the characters are pretty fun. Like the main female's mother is really fun to voice, because I have a very over-the-top voice for her. And I'm finding that the more over-the-top the voice is for a character, the easier it is to keep consistent throughout the recording process. So I have the mother is super over-the-top. The antagonist love interest, I don't know what the role exactly is. Like another jealous female is easy. I've got a generic female voice for the main female. It might be a little more mature than the character's supposed to be, but it is what it is. And the main character is just my voice, maybe sometimes a little bit lower, and another character has just a dry version of me trying to have a low voice. It's a little hard to keep consistent, but I'm finding that I don't know how this will turn out, but I'm thinking that a lot of the side characters, if their voices aren't consistent, people aren't really gonna... Oh, you're included, bud? Yeah, he's included. Really? Really? You sure? Yeah, that's you, bud. That's not another dog. That's just... Hi, hello. No, don't. Okay, bye-bye. I lost my train of thought, but he was too cute there. But we're done recording for the day. I'm just doing the audio mastering, making sure that the RMS, root mean square. I remember that from electrical engineering, because at my old job I did a bit of that work, and because I was a radio frequency engineer, hyper focused, which meant that none of the skills I learned there are applicable elsewhere, so it's not going to help me get a job anywhere else. I mean, people who know what the job is are going to be like, whoa, but no one knows what the job is because it's that meh. But I've got skills in pretty much every field of engineering, electrical, mechanical, software, and now I'm doing audio engineering. Cool. But yeah, pretty good day of recording. Buddy whined for a large portion of it, which made me have to do a couple retakes, which has me a little frustrated. But no buts, it just got me frustrated. But trying to teach him how to be quiet more often. And I don't like locking him up. I'd rather him be up here with me. Like, I mean, I've got a door separating him from me, but he's got an entire section of my living space devoted to just him. It's got his crate. It's got some blankets for him. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Buddy. Little guy. Buddy, stop it. You can pop up here. You want to pop up here again? No? Okay. He's got his own room with, it's like, he's got a crate, and then it's probably like 6 or 7 times the size of his crate. It's got like a bunch of bones, chew toys. It's a dog run, basically, that I constructed. And he doesn't like getting put in there too much because he's got super bad separation anxiety. So even when he's just through the door, he's got pretty bad separation anxiety. He actually wants to be in this room with me while I'm recording, but I can't do that because I can't trust that he's not going to be making all the sounds in the world. I think he's getting his head stuck in this chair. But yeah. So Buddy's my guy. I've got it's too dark out there for me to show you. I have a bed for him. a couple silent chew toys to help keep him distracted. But he's my little guy. He does make things a pain in the ass sometimes, but I'd rather him be happy and spoiled than not. I don't have any kids. He's my kid. But I've got 2 meals left. It is 8 p.m. I'm going to eat my beef and rice meal, wait a little bit, and then eat my final meal of the day. Part of me wants to just add a scoop of protein to every meal of the day just to make sure I'm not undercutting that at all, because I kind of feel like I might be on accident. Maybe sometimes. I don't know. But I'll meet you guys when I'm unstuck in this room. Which is gonna happen like right now. Do you wanna be a buddy? You are handsome and so small. You are a little dog. You are a dog. I bet you were so tall. Wish you were so tall. You are a handsome fellow and little guy. Where are you going now? Do you want to be a buddy? Hey! No! Buddy! No, 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 denied, no, nope, request, denied, no. You think you can be cute and get away with everything, bud? You absolutely can. You absolutely can. I'd say that's why you're so fat, but you're not. That's why he's not fat, because he wants to walk all the time. Little guy. We got the final meal. Well, it's not the final meal of the day, but it feels like the final meal of the day. It's the last one that I have to put effort into consuming. It is, there's 70-ish grams of guacamole on there. It's supposed to be avocado. I checked with the nutritionist, and she said absolutely guacamole is cool beans. I got some Himalayan pink salt. I've got 400 grams of rice and 220 grams of beef. 96.4 beef. In this asshole. And also connectivity issues. So, yeah. Bagel. My phone died, and I plugged it in to get back to 3% to take that video of the bagel. But I wasn't going to waste my time waiting for you guys to get it all charged up when my bagel was already ready. So, that's all the bagel you get. Anyways. Good squat day. Good day at work. Bruins in 5.